Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're diving deep into the incredible world of the 1942 Mercury Dime, a coin that has fascinated collectors, sparked bidding wars, and made headlines across the world. Now, at first glance, the 1942 Mercury Dime might look like just another silver coin from the mid-20th century. But once you take a closer look, this coin tells a much bigger story. This dime was struck during the height of World War II, a time when every piece of American coinage carried a sense of patriotism, sacrifice, and resilience. The Mercury Dime itself is already iconic, featuring the stunning winged Liberty head design by Adolf A. Weinman, which symbolizes freedom of thought and spirit, something deeply meaningful during those turbulent war years. But what really sets the 1942 Mercury Dime apart is not just its historical significance, it's the jaw-dropping minting errors that make this specific year one of the most sought-after and talked-about coins in U.S. coin collecting history. One of the most famous errors you need to look out for is the 1942 over 1941 variety. This is where the 1942 date was stamped over a 1941 die, creating a remarkable doubling effect that is clearly visible under magnification and, in some cases, even to the naked eye. Imagine holding a coin where the numbers literally collide in time, 1942 pressed right over 1941. That's not just a mistake, that's a collector's dream. This specific error, known as the 1942-41 overdate, occurred in both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but it is the Philadelphia version that holds the crown when it comes to rarity and demand. These errors are incredibly rare because the overdate was discovered early in the minting process and most were pulled from circulation quickly. That means only a very limited number made it into the hands of the public, and even fewer have survived in pristine condition today. The survivors? They're the holy grail for collectors everywhere. What makes this coin even more exciting is how to identify it. Look closely at the date on your 1942 Mercury Dime, especially under the numbers 4 and 2. On genuine overdate errors, you'll notice traces of the underlying 1 peeking out beneath them. It's a subtle but powerful sign that you're holding something incredibly special. The mint mark, if it exists, can be found on the reverse side of the coin, just to the right of the base of the torch. Coins without a mint mark were minted in Philadelphia, while the D indicates Denver. But remember, it's the Philadelphia overdate that really gets collectors' hearts racing. Now, let's talk condition, because condition is everything in the coin world. If you happen to come across a 1942 of 41 Mercury Dime that is uncirculated or in mint state, the value skyrockets like a rocket launch. Coins graded MS 65 and above are incredibly valuable and are often sold through elite auction houses and dealers. Even circulated versions with visible overdate errors can bring in serious cash, but those in top condition? They're legendary. If you find one, do not clean it, leave it exactly as it is, and get it professionally graded. Authenticity and grading are key to unlocking the full value of your treasure. Let's get to the fun part. How much could this dime be worth? Well, in recent years, some exceptional examples of the 1942 of 41 Mercury Dime in mint state have sold for massive amounts at auction. One particular coin, perfectly preserved and carrying that rare overdate error, was sold for a jaw-dropping $200,000. That's right. What was once a simple 10-cent piece turned out to be a life-changing treasure for its lucky owner. Collectors across the globe are constantly hunting for this coin. Whether it's tucked away in an old coin jar, sitting in a family heirloom collection, or hidden in a forgotten coin roll, the 1942 Mercury Dime is a star among silver coins. It has history, beauty, rarity, and value all rolled into one tiny but mighty piece of silver. There are still a few out there waiting to be discovered, and who knows? The next one might be in your hands right now, so if you've got a collection lying around, or if you're just getting into coin hunting, make sure to keep a sharp eye out for the 1942 Mercury Dime with the overdate error. You could be holding something truly extraordinary without even knowing it. And if you think you've found one or have any questions about your coins, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your stories and help you uncover the hidden value in your collection. Second rare coin. We're talking about none other than the legendary United States 1 dime coin from the year 1894. This isn't just an old silver coin, it's a historical masterpiece, a collector's fantasy, and one of the rarest dimes to ever be struck by the US Mint. If you've got a passion for rare coins or are just beginning to explore this world, this story is going to blow your mind. The 1894 1 dime, also famously known as the 1894 S Barber dime, is wrapped in mystery and surrounded by intrigue. What makes this coin so extraordinary is that only 24 of them were ever minted, and today only a handful of those are known to exist. That's right, just 24 pieces were struck at the San Francisco Mint, and only around 9 or 10 have been located and verified by collectors and grading services. That makes this coin rarer than many gold coins, more valuable than many silver dollars, and truly a treasure of unmatched rarity. What's even more fascinating is the story behind the coin's production. There has been debate among historians and numismatists for decades. Why were only 24 of these coins minted? One of the most popular theories is that they were created as special presentation coins for bankers, friends of mint officials, or as part of a favor within the industry. Another compelling version of the tale is that they were struck as a way to balance the mint's books at the end of the fiscal year. No matter which version of the story you believe, one thing remains true. This coin is a once-in-a-lifetime find and carries a level of mystique and allure that few coins can match. From a design perspective, the 1894 1 dime is part of the Barber series, named after its designer, Charles E. Barber. On the obverse, you'll find the classical Liberty head with a laurel wreath and the words, United States of America, surrounding it, while the reverse features the denomination 1 dime encircled by a wreath. It's a beautiful piece of craftsmanship, simple and elegant, and representative of American coinage at the end of the 19th century. But what makes this version of the Barber dime so unforgettable is not just the design, it's the date and the S mint mark that change everything. Now let's talk about how to identify this legendary coin. First, it must be dated 1894, and secondly, look for the small but important S mint mark, which stands for the San Francisco Mint. You can find the mint mark just below the wreath on the reverse side. If you see 1894 S on your dime, you need to stop everything you're doing, grab a magnifying glass, and prepare for a serious discovery. If it's the real deal, you could be holding one of the most valuable coins ever made in American history. There are no known minting errors on the 1894 S dime, but its extremely limited mintage is what drives the value into the stratosphere. The very fact that so few were made, and even fewer survived, makes every remaining specimen a prize of historic importance. These coins are often sold through elite private auctions, handled only by major dealers and certified by the top grading authorities like PCGS or NGC. In fact, any coin that claims to be an 1894 S dime must be authenticated before its true value can be determined. Now here's what collectors and dreamers alike wait to hear. How much is one of these beauties worth today? Well, the answer is absolutely thrilling. In recent years, examples of the 1894 S 1 dime have fetched massive prices at auction houses, stunning even seasoned collectors. One of these coins, in lightly circulated condition but still highly desirable, was sold for a heart-stopping price of $175,000. And that's not even the highest ever paid. Some of the finest known examples have sold for millions in pristine proof condition. But yes, even a less-than-perfect specimen can still be worth six figures. Collectors from all over the world are constantly watching the market for any appearance of the 1894 S dime. It's a coin that has earned legendary status, not only for its scarcity, but for the stories, the secrets, and the passion it inspires in those lucky enough to hunt for it. If you're new to collecting, this is one of those coins that reminds us why we search, why we learn, and why the hobby of coin collecting is filled with wonder and excitement every single day. So take a good look through your family coin collections, your old silver dimes, or even those forgotten boxes in the attic. You never know where one of these treasures might be hiding. And if you ever come across a dime with 1894 S on it, well, don't walk, run to get it authenticated, because you might be looking at a piece of American history worth more than some luxury cars or even a house. Third expensive coin. We're talking about a fascinating coin from the not-so-distant past, the 1974 D United States 1 dime coin. While it may look like an ordinary 10-cent piece at first glance, the truth behind this coin's potential value will absolutely blow your mind. The 1974 D Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint during a period when millions of coins were being produced each year. However, as collectors know all too well, it's not about how many were made, it's about the rare few that came out differently, with unique errors or striking characteristics that set them apart from the rest. And in the case of the 1974 D dime, there are some incredibly rare varieties that have turned this common coin into one of the most coveted finds in recent memory. One of the main reasons the 1974 D dime has become so desirable is because of the discovery of rare minting errors that occurred during production. Among the most valuable types are the off-center strikes, double die obverse, and coins that were struck on the wrong planchet. These kinds of errors are not only extremely rare, but also visually striking, making them even more appealing to serious collectors. Imagine finding a dime that was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a penny or a foreign coin. That alone can skyrocket the value in an instant. So how can you identify one of these rare and valuable errors? Let's start with the double die obverse error. Look closely at the date, the word liberty, and the phrase "In God We Trust." On a double die coin, you'll notice clear doubling of these letters and numbers, especially under magnification, though sometimes it's visible even to the naked eye. This doubling happens when the die used to strike the coin has been impressed with a double design, and only a small number escape the mint before the error is caught. Another incredible error found in the 1974 D dime series is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned with the dies during the striking process. It results in a coin with part of the design missing or shifted, often leaving a crescent-shaped blank space on one side. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is and how well the coin details are still visible, the value can jump significantly. The more off-center it is while still showing the date and mint mark, the higher its value can soar. But one of the most exciting errors collectors are chasing is the wrong planchet strike. This is when a dime is struck on a planchet that was meant for another denomination or even a foreign coin. For example, a 1974 D dime struck on a penny planchet will appear smaller, copper-colored instead of silver, and lighter in weight. These coins are extraordinarily rare and are in incredibly high demand because they combine both a date error and a striking anomaly that's impossible to ignore. These coins, when discovered, are sent to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC to be authenticated and assigned a grade based on their condition. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. A certified error coin from 1974 with a Denver mint mark can become a star at auction, especially if it's in mint state condition or has an eye-catching error. Collectors, investors, and numismatic enthusiasts are all willing to pay a premium for coins like these because they are a combination of rarity, visual appeal, and historical significance. In recent years, these rare 1974 D dimes with significant errors have been featured in high-profile auctions and private sales, drawing in top-tier bids from around the globe. One such coin, with a dramatic off-center strike and a near-perfect grade, stunned the numismatic world when it was sold to a private collector for an astounding $90,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single dime from 1974 sold for the price of a luxury car. So if you have a 1974 D Roosevelt dime in your collection, or better yet, a few, you absolutely need to take a closer look. Get yourself a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine the details carefully. Look for doubling, off-center designs, or unusual color and size. If anything looks even slightly off, it could be your lucky day. And remember, never clean or alter the coin, as this can damage its value. Always get it checked and authenticated by a professional grading service if you think you've found something special. This is why coin collecting is such an exciting and rewarding hobby, because incredible stories like this are not just legends from the past. These coins are still out there, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. Maybe it's sitting in your piggy bank, your grandma's keepsake box, or a roll of coins from the bank you picked up on a whim. The thrill of the hunt is very real, and every collector dreams of finding that one coin that changes everything. Especially, we're talking about the United States one-dime coin from 1980 with the Philadelphia mint mark, known as the 1980 P Roosevelt dime. This is a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but for those who know what to look for, it can turn into an absolute jackpot. The 1980 P dime is part of the Roosevelt dime series, which has been in circulation since 1946. It was minted in massive quantities as the economy was booming and coins were being pumped into circulation across the nation. However, within these millions of dimes, a few extraordinary errors slipped past the careful eyes of the U.S. Mint. These rare mistakes and variations are exactly what collectors dream of finding, and if you're lucky enough to spot one, you could be holding something far more valuable than 10 cents. What makes the 1980 P dime so special and desirable isn't just its age, it's the rare and fascinating minting errors that have surfaced over the years. One of the most highly sought-after types is the missing mint mark error. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint began including the P mint mark on its dimes for the first time in history. That makes this year extremely significant for collectors. However, due to mechanical issues or human error, a very small number of 1,980 dimes were accidentally struck without the P mint mark. These no mint mark varieties are among the most exciting modern coin errors and are being hunted with incredible intensity by collectors across the country. To identify this rare variety, look at the obverse side of your dime right next to the date. There should be a small letter P indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. If that P is missing and the coin is in excellent condition, you could be looking at a highly valuable collectible. This specific error was the result of a die that was mistakenly used before the mint mark was applied, a major oversight that only happened for a very short period of time. Another valuable and exciting error to look for in the 1980 P dime is the double die error, particularly on the obverse side of the coin. This happens when the die that strikes the coin has a double design, causing letters or numbers to appear as though they've been stamped twice. On this coin, doubling may appear on the words "Liberty, in God We Trust," or the digits of the date 1980. When found in high-grade condition, these double die errors can fetch serious money due to their rarity and the difficulty of spotting them without a close inspection. Some 1980 P dimes have also shown up with clipped planchets, where a small portion of the coin is literally missing due to an error in the cutting process. Others have been discovered with off-center strikes, giving the design a distorted, misaligned appearance that stands out immediately. These dramatic visual errors are especially prized because they're instantly recognizable, even to the untrained eye. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially when the date is still visible. Now, let's talk about how collectors and dealers assess the value of these rare coins. First, condition is absolutely everything. A coin with a rare error but heavy wear from circulation will still be valuable, but a coin with a rare error in uncirculated or mint state condition, that's the gold standard. If you believe you have one of these unique dimes, it's important to have it authenticated and graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. This not only confirms the coin's legitimacy, but also gives it a formal grade that determines its market value. Auction records and private sales continue to show just how hot the demand is for rare modern dimes. In recent years, verified examples of the 1980 P dime with missing mint marks and double die errors have attracted attention from serious buyers and collectors alike. These coins are no longer just part of everyday change, they are prized relics of minting history, tucked away in private collections or displayed in showcases as symbols of rarity and luck. And now for the moment that every collector dreams about. How much can one of these special coins be worth? Well, in a recent private sale, a pristine 1980 P Roosevelt dime with a confirmed mint error and outstanding condition was sold for an astonishing $70,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin most people wouldn't even glance at twice turned out to be worth more than a luxury car. So if you've got a jar full of old dimes or happen to stumble upon a 1980 P dime in your collection, Don't toss it aside just yet. Take a good look, study the date, check for the mint mark, and examine the lettering for signs of doubling or anything unusual. You might be holding something extremely rare and valuable without even realizing it. The thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting so exciting, because hidden gems like this are still out there waiting to be discovered. Last unique coin, we're diving into the fascinating world of modern American coinage with a special focus on a dime that may seem ordinary, but holds incredible secrets and immense value for those who know where to look. The United States one-dime coin from 1991, minted in Philadelphia, known as the 1991 P Roosevelt dime. If you're passionate about rare coins or just love the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures, then listen closely because this coin is one you absolutely want to know about. The 1991 P dime was produced in vast quantities, making it a familiar sight in everyday change. But what sets a few of these coins apart is the presence of rare and unique minting errors that have made some examples highly sought after by collectors worldwide. It's not just about the date or the mint mark. These little silver discs hide fascinating anomalies that can turn an ordinary dime into a collectible gem with impressive value. These errors are what fuel the excitement and competition in the coin collecting community today. One of the most captivating features collectors search for in the 1991 P dime is the double die error. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin has an overlapping or double design, resulting in a visible shadow effect on key parts of the coin, especially around the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. This doubling is subtle, but unmistakable once you know where to look, and coins with this feature are extremely rare compared to the millions of standard dimes minted that year. The thrill of spotting this doubling is like uncovering a secret hidden in plain sight. Another highly prized error is the off-center strike. When a dime is struck slightly off its planchet, part of the design is missing or pushed to one side, giving it a dramatic and eye-catching appearance. These off-center coins are naturally scarce because the U.S. Mint's quality controls catch most misaligned strikes before they leave the facility. The degree of misalignment plays a big role in value. The more off-center, but still showing the full date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes. These dramatic coins are true crowd pleasers for any collection. Collectors also watch out for clipped planchets in 1991 dimes. This occurs when the coin blank isn't fully cut out of the metal strip, leaving a curved or straight clip missing from the edge of the coin. Clipped planchets add a distinct physical characteristic that is both fascinating to study and highly desirable among numismatists. These anomalies are proof of the fascinating production process behind coin minting and the tiny imperfections that make each coin unique. So, how do collectors know if a 1991 P dime is truly valuable? Condition is absolutely key. Coins that have remained in uncirculated or mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear or handling, are the crown jewels of collections. These pristine coins with verified mint errors can fetch incredible sums at auctions or private sales. For any serious collector, having a coin professionally graded and authenticated by trusted services such as PCGS or NGC can significantly boost the value and give buyers confidence in the coin's legitimacy. Speaking of auctions, recent sales of 1991 P dimes with rare errors have been making headlines in the numismatic world. These coins are highly prized, with collectors competing fiercely to add them to their treasure troves. Some examples have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, proving that even coins from more recent decades can carry enormous value and historical interest. The 1991 P dime, with its unique mix of scarcity, striking errors, and condition, is in high demand, making it a must-watch for collectors and investors alike. Now, here comes the exciting part. How much could you potentially be sitting on if you've got one of these extraordinary coins? A 1991 P Roosevelt dime in excellent condition, with one of these rare and verified mint errors, has recently been sold for a jaw-dropping $45,000. That's right, a single dime, produced not even 4 decades ago, has achieved a price that would amaze even the most seasoned collectors. So next time you're sorting through your coin collection, or even just checking change from the store, keep your eyes peeled for the 1991 P dime. Examine the details carefully. Look for any signs of doubling in the lettering, unusual off-center designs, or clipped edges. These tiny but significant characteristics can turn a common coin into a prized collector's item, representing a fascinating piece of minting history and potentially a very valuable asset if you've ever found a 1991 P dime that looks a little different or have questions about your coins. Don't hesitate to share your experiences and ask questions in the comments below. We love hearing from fellow coin lovers and helping each other uncover the stories behind these small but mighty treasures. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare dimes, be sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to find your next great coin. Remember, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and stories waiting to be told. Your next incredible discovery might be closer than you think.